Okay, hello, my wonderful brothers and brothers of the Maverick Nation, and happy Mother Easter, bros! I got this in my Easter basket. Foxy the Pirate Mother Fox. Oh, Jesus Christ, he is a heavy mofo, though. Well, considering my Easter basket. And I also got a Coke. Soldier boy, soldier boy. Oh boy. And we stepping up here with part 8 of oh part 8 of part 8 of freaking what if Lancer from Deltarune was friends with Vanilla Sands from one of my AUs, the specific AU being EXE Tail, but the specific Sands, because there are several Sands in that AU, the specific Sands, Jesus Christ, I cannot words today, Vanilla Sands. What if Lancer was friends with Vanilla Sands? And it'll be part 9. My mans. Jesus. My mans. I, I, oh boy. Part 9. Good God. I mean, I have some what ifs that have been getting longer and longer. I mean, I'm really starting to think it's just the ones that I really, really like doing. Or it could just be the ones that I really, really feel obligated to do because, you know, it's a thing that I do every now and again that I feel obligated to keep on doing every now and again because, it just feels like it needs to be done that way. It feels like if I don't do it that way, that something's wrong. Something is wrong within the channel. And I can't be having that. No, can't be having that. Luffy won't allow that. I'm sure Foxy won't allow that. And good God, if I have two mouths yagging on me about shit in the channel, oh boy. Got like 90 freaking subscribers. And somebody just left a comment on a really old freaking, like a really old ass freaking video of mine. The first part of the Yukiar reincarnation, what if? Someone just left a comment. I went over their channel, I subscribed, and I got the notifications. Because, every time I subscribe to someone's channel, I feel like I have to do that because I just feel obligated to. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I just feel like it ain't enough love till you like freaking rung the bell till the cows come home and back, like mother freaking Teresa. Oh boy, oi, 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 oi. And now finally to get to the freaking what if, and if my freaking insane ramblings. To finally get to the damn what if. Part 9 of What If Lancer was friends with Vanilla Sands. Our what if would start off with, well, seeing as all the whole training sort of, part was done, for the entrance exam. We would have the entrance exam, and, this is going to be more focused on Lisk than anything else because this is basically the addition of Lisk as a character But that won't be the only addition. As we see here, there is someone else. So that Class 1A. Yes, both this character and Lisk will be going into Class 1A. Because, if it was just Lisk, there would be an odd number. So, another character had to be added. And the reason, because of the fact that this character is added, it basically, because of that reason, there have been no more sightings of Dark Web Sands anymore. Like, no more sightings of the dude. And it's just like vanished off the face of the earth. Or more or less Darkner World. Vanished off the face of the Darkner World. Just completely gone. Almost like he made some place for him to live somewhere else. I'm gonna say that, Dark Web Sands, there's gonna be kind of a connection with him and Vanilla, and the fact that him and Vanilla are both male. Yes, but there's going to be a difference because last time I checked, even though Vanilla has like all of that edgelord to him, he isn't a complete and total nihilist like freaking Ukiora in Bleach. That's the difference. That's the freaking difference. You know, nihilism, no nihilism. There's the difference. Vanilla isn't a nihilist, but Dark Web Sands is straight up nihilist. He just doesn't believe in the mushy stuff. Does not believe in the stuff that, you know, he just doesn't have the belief system. He, unlike Vanilla Sands, who does have a belief system, it's just very, very edgelord filled. And he has his own reasons for why it's that way. Good, actual good reasons instead of other edgy type characters who have their own reasons, but they aren't good reasons. Vanilla has his own reasons, plus they are actual good reasons why he has such an edgy, like super edgelord personality that actually make the edge that actually makes the edginess bearable and actually kind of appealing if you look at it a certain way under a certain lens. And you could really just consider like kind of like looking in like mirror vision, like I forget the actual name of the Twilight Zone episode, but like the episode where there was like two of the same person. Was it actually called Mirror Image? If it's actually called Mirror Image, I'm going to freaking freak out that I actually remembered the name of a Twilight Zone episode. And I'm talking the OG Twilight Zone. No, not like a retelling or a redoing, like from like the newer Twilight Zones, like the OG like Rod Serling Twilight Zone episode, like the OG Rod Serling kind. And the fact that I can remember Rod Serling, oh my god, Jesus Christ, Christ Almighty. Anyways, thing about this is, you know, in terms of edge lordiness, Vanilla is in there, but whenever it comes to like Dark Web Sands, like dudes like Ukiora level, cause like remember I said literally devoid of anything, like devoid of devoid. like that, like into the nihilism. So a conversation with him would kind of be very depressing. Like, none unless you're like into that shit or something. Okay. I think I might know someone who is, but maybe not be all that happy to admit it. But that's just my own personal. But never mind that. Anyways, well, in order to make it an even number, I've decided that following Lisk is going to be Dark Web Sands. And, well, Dark Web Sands, since, he was just kind of created, he won't be that old. And so the creep factor of, a person that's this age and a person that's this age, that creep factor won't really be there. But the creep factor of, like, the nihilism, will be, you know, it's just there. Like, Dark Web Sands is just who he is, and that's his thing. That's his deal. And Lisk is just who, like, she is. Like, that's her thing, her deal. And the first thing that really catches Lisk's eye about, this person is, you know, they wear, like, all black, and, they don't really have highlights. It's just like empty, dead sockets. Like you're looking into a black hole. Like literally, there's nothing there. No, like it's kind of like the Sans creepy face with like no highlights. It's just that, but not with a smile. It's just that, but with like any expression. There's no highlights at all. But there is one thing that is different. They kind of have like a brown, like the handle to the thing is like a whip handle, like round, but like everything else, like the thing that's on the handle is like a belt. So it's a different shape than the round shape of the handle. It's the shape of a belt. Like just laid out so it's just a clear strip. There's no folding. It's just clearly flat. And, well, there is actually something at the end. It's like a scythe slash hook like, like sort of thing. It's almost like, sort of like, this is some sort of flailing weapon. Like, the reason why it's like such a leather, like belt type fabric that's attached to this and also attached to the other side where like the sort of you know whip handle is. It's like a leather belt type thing, because you're supposed to be able to do this with it like that, kind of like with like Scorpion's spear. It's kind of like a rope kunai, like like that. It's kind of like that. Only the thing at the end isn't like a kunai. It's some sort of mix in between a small scythe and some sort of hook device. Uh, but, the fact that it is like that, the fact that that's what it is, you know, like, a mix in between a freaking hook and a freaking miniature scythe. Well, you know, finally, whenever Lisk is like, just like pestered enough that actually kind of raises her voice to this person, and it's like, yo, what's the deal with the freaking thing that you have? And this guy just says, in a voice which, whenever I say, you guys may or may not be creeped out. Just for some of you who are, I'm sorry if I gave you night terrors. Oh, this is something. What do they say? Support items. This is so I don't use my quirk too much. This is a support item. My quirk is summoning. That's exactly what it is. My quirk summons things. This is a required item. And, well, Lisk is just like, okay, that guy's scary. Like, that's supposed to be a support item? It looks like something that you could kill someone with. Like, it looks like a fusion of a hook and a miniature scythe. Like, and you just swing it around? And it's supposed to be considered a support item. And his quirk allows him to summon things? Don't go around looking like that and tell me that you have a quirk and that you don't have powers that a skeleton would have. He knew, even though he didn't have eyelights, I could tell he knew that I knew exactly what he was pulling. He knew that I knew he was lying straight through his teeth. Yet, he was still so calm and composed. Even whenever his voice got deeper, it was almost like he was just carrying himself through some sort of monotonous speech. Uh, so, that's supposed to be a support item, and his quirk is supposed to be something that allows him to summon things. Ugh, probably just a unique power that he has alone. I have indeed heard some things about certain sands that used to appear around the fountains. They called them dark web sands. Is that guy Dark Web Sands? Did he come through here? Has he been living here? Living this place? Is that why it seems so natural to him? That he just never spoke too much out of tone, like he had been rehearsing that little speech he just gave to me. He wasn't talking to me, he was preparing a speech, and then saying it out loud. Not too out loud, but it was definitely indeed. Well, just never mind. I'm going to pass the test. No one is going to stop me. And whenever Liz goes in, she sees a few familiar faces, along with that dark web sands guy, who has that support item over his shoulder. You know, the few familiar faces that she does see, well, they're not really a few. It's more or less Izuku and Bakugo were the familiar faces. Besides that dark web sands, they were the only two. Lisk refused to speak with Bakugo, and, well, that means the only one left is Izuku. Yet he seemed to be trying to help some girl. She did seem nervous. Maybe he was trying to help her with whatever was egging her on. And then some Four Eyes just comes out of nowhere and decides to heckle him for it. No one can really see Lisk yet, because she's too far back for anyone to notice. She can tell all of their expressions, all of their eyes. The only one that she could even think that would ever possibly notice her by now would be that dark web songs. Yeah. Basically, yeah, Lisk is just like, whatever. It's their fault if they get run over. I'll try not to kill Izuku, but Bakugo is free game. Lisk grabs a canister of gasoline and some matches and a few parts that look like they could be made to create a bike. And then, just within a few seconds, that's exactly what happens. A bike is constructed, then, not too long after, a flame is created towards the back, or more or less rear end of the bike from the matches and the canister of gasoline or slash alcohol cocktail that Lisk had with her. And this would start things up rather well, she thought. Now it's time to get the pedal to the metal. After all, she hadn't really decided to have herself, be made known during the written portion. She kept herself hid during that, not wanting to, gather too much attention while she was being bored out of her mind with a test that she could easily pass, even if she wasn't actually trying to pass it. So, with the written portion already done and over with, all of a sudden, crash, boom! And stop. And, well, the Four Eyes, also known as Eva Tenya, or Tenyaida or whatever, is literally shitting himself. What just happened? President Mike is scared shitless. I mean, what the ever living shit just happened there? And, this is mere moments before the actual 0 pointer or like other pointers part of the test actually happens. So there's some time for everyone to have a reaction here. Ochako is less scared of the actual test, this part of the test, than she actually is of whoever just did that. Not really knowing who, but knowing that they are definitely probably going to be one of the people taking the test. Oh god, that actually does end up scaring her a lot. And, well, Bakugo, usually known for keeping himself either calm, cool, and collected during these kind of moments, to make himself look all badass. You know, he's actually very pissed because of, the fact that he almost got run over. Yes, Liz did not care who she ran over unless it was a friend like Izuku. She was just like, if you don't, boom, get out the way, get out the way, get out the way. That was basically her mindset going in with this. And Izuku, it's just literally like, oh, so she went with the plan anyways. She told me she wasn't going to. Then again, what do you expect from someone who keeps on mentioning the fact that they're part of a darkener kingdom? That since she says she's royalty all the time, she thinks that people are going to bow down before her. No, something about this seems wrong. And then all of a sudden, later, losers! And the gates actually open, and then all of a sudden, another explosion. And, another bike on fire rides straight through and into the model city. And then all of a sudden, they're just spades flying everywhere, and robot after robot is getting destroyed, and some are even getting run into, like run over by the freaking flaming bicycle. And then all of a sudden, it's just a bunch of crazy shit. And then all of a sudden, whenever it gets to like the middle point, like the bike just explodes, and it propels whoever was on the bike up into the air, and they just end up landing on top of the tallest building, and they just aerial spade like a bunch of robots from where they are, like an aerial spade attack, just multiple of those. And so just automatically people will go to take out robots, but they would see that already they were taken out by someone, this person on the top, like on the top of the tallest building in the model city, you know, had already just like taken most of the robots out. And so was gaining points at a rapid success rate. And so Izuku just didn't really bother to like get too many points because, he realized very soon that, most of the people that are going to try to get like a lot of points, like rack up a lot of points like really fast, are probably going to be people that are also going to be hit by attacks that are going to go after those robots from above. Just for like the betterment of his health, you know, kind of scared of what might happen if he, got too many points too fast. But then all of a sudden, like Izuku ends up running into Bakugo. Bakugo's just like, "Hey, get out of my way! I'm not gonna have myself be rained down on by that freakazoid anytime soon." And Izuku's like, "Are you even like paying attention to what kind of attacks are being rained down?" And then Bakugo's like, "Wait a sec, these are all spade attacks." Nerd. Think she's all that? And Bakugo would just juice for the tallest building. And seeing as he's been around the Mall City a couple times, he would know where the tallest building is, and he would try to get to the top to, ambush from behind. But Lisk would, hearing Bakugo's footsteps, or at least someone's footsteps, she would pull a little trick. She would just be like, "Truth Defender!" And Bakugo would be like, "Truth Defender? What the frick?" And it would just be like, "The Jester." Actually, no, not the Jester. The Joker. And all of a sudden, she would just lay down a card, a little makeshift table, and it would be the Joker. And Bakugo would be like, "What?" And all of a sudden, some night guy would come around and he would just like stab into Bakugo and he would fall down and it'd be like, "What the And, and to Lisk, this is all like, "This was a distraction. I knew somebody was going to come up here eventually. Now I can." And she would just jump off the top of the building. And all the heroes that are looking at this, they just be like, "Oh, this person is insane." And Lisk would just be like, "Oh, that's what you think. Well, what do you think of me now?" And then it would just be like, "Taste some queen." And it's like, lays down a queen, and then like a freaking, like, it would be like, there would just be like a saddle, and she'd just be riding. And whenever she opened her eyes, a horse chariot. And there would just be freaking night dudes going around attacking people, to keep them from getting points, as she just threw out more spades, getting more points. And then eventually Izuku, would just get to like the point where basically, you know, and, Izuku would see Ochako, and Ochako would be like, "Help!" And Izuku would be like, "Well, shit." And, would just go in, and then all of a sudden, right in front of him, it would be like, "Loser." And it would just be like, boom! Like, just ride in on another flaming bicycle. And it would just be like, "So, you wish to harm her? You feel the wrath of a true hero. I am no regular hero. I am." And she would just like have her own little stance, like, "Do do 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 do, a hero princess." And this would just be like a distraction. And then all of a sudden, yeah, hero princess, and just a bunch of like blue flame covered freaking like bullet hell attacks, like spade attacks, like just like rain them down upon the freaking zero pointer. And then like uh freaking Lisk would grab Izuku by the legs and would just be like, now channel your power thing or whatever. Like do something. And like Izuku would be like, okay. And it would just be like, and like throw him straight at the zero pointer's face. And like a punch would send him, like the punch that he would send the zero pointer's way, like he would have picked up so much momentum from like the throw that he would go into the face, through the face, and out the other end. And he would be like falling, and then all of a sudden, like Otaku would be like, huh? And Quirk and Lisk would just be like, huh? You're wait, you can't walk, but you uh oh I uh oh my. It would just be like Lisk would be thinking so many different things. But, basically it would be the countdown, and then it would be like the test is over, and well, that would basically be it. And whenever Lisk like went back, it would just be like Izuku would want to follow them, but instead of just Izuku, like someone would knock in to Izuku, and it would be Bakugo. Bakugo would want to know what the hell's going on, and Lisk is just like, the both of you are following me. This cannot be good. This is definitely not going to be good. Fine, just allow me to heal you. Like, and like healing skills are along like freaking recovery girl like levels. And so like yeah, it's just that. And Izuku and Bakugo are kind of confused, but Bakugo's like still gotta go, like gotta do this, figure out what the hell's going on. And freaking Glisk would escort them all the way to Card Castle, and then we'll just be like, please wait here. And then we'll just go in and we'll be like, Auntie Chara, we have visitors. And basically Chara would be like, phew, it's been hell a day. And, Lisk just hearing that from our Auntie Chara would be like, oh no. Oh, oh my god. I'm just gonna make everything worse. And just like the next thing that happens, it's just like, Auntie Chara, we and we have visitors from the other world, the world where I get my education from. And Auntie Chara would just be like, oh, more paperwork. I see. I'll go get the king and queen, your mother and father, and just walk over there. And, Chara would, like, Vanilla Chara would just be like, mm, uh, Your Highnesses, I come here due to an important matter. And, Lancer and Vanilla Frisk would just be like, yes? What is the important matter? And Vanilla Char would just be like, the important matter is we have visitors from another side. The side in which your daughter has received her education. Has been receiving. And, well, like, Vanilla Char is just like, she has been getting, strange dreams, possible premonitions of the future, and she's been talking to, Vanilla Frisk has been talking to Chara about this, like these, like, visions, possible premonitions, if they are to come true, if they're even, like, visions or premonitions at all, like, of what might actually happen, and if it is, like, how to possibly stop it from happening, or if it's destined to happen no matter what, you know, Vanilla Frisk, because of all this, would be incredibly uneased. Would just be like, okay then, who are the visitors? And Vanilla Char would just be like, Lisk, your friends? And Lisk would just be like, only one of them is technically my friend. The other one just came along because I guess they feel like they're like they can do whatever. Very entitled loser. And, well, Lancer's opinion on the whole thing, he's just, he's kind of just like really happy to have, company. He doesn't really find them threatening at all. He hasn't been seeing these premonitions, these dreams. He he doesn't find them threatening in the least. He finds them to be guests. And, well, you treat guests right. I mean, you should be a good host. Like, I mean, Lancer does indeed believe that's a good thing to do, right? And Solisk is basically just like, well, I don't agree about him, but Izuku's perfectly fine. And basically Lancer's just like, oh, so is this the one you call Katsuki Bakugo? And Bakugo's just like, yeah, I'm Katsuki Bakugo, and I'm proud of it. I'm gonna be the #1 hero, and no one's gonna stop me. Not even your daughter is gonna stop me. And Lisk is just like, pig-headed idiot. Maybe I should just kill him right here, right now. Probably be more merciful than what would happen if I didn't. And, well, what happens is, Lancer's basically just like, oh, well, safe to say, I actually kind of was expecting that kind of behavior from you. After all, what Lisk has told me about you, you don't seem to be the best person. The best one suited for the role of #1 hero. And Bakugo was just like, what? And Lancer's like, did I stutter? And Bakugo's like, no, you didn't stutter, old man. It's just... Now I have extra reason to kick your ass. And, well, this is just the point to where, goody goody gumdrops. Lance actually takes this as a challenge. Maybe if, Lisk wins this, Bakugo will have to accept her as the current superior in between the two. And Bakugo's like, sure, whatever. And he's just like secretly whispering to himself, like, oh, like that will ever happen. Either of those things. And Izuku, notices Bakugo isn't that good of a whisperer and is just like, oh no. But eventually, whenever the match is called, because, Lancer sees no harm in it, you know, eventually, like, whenever the match is called, Bakugo goes to attack Lisk, and he gets an uppercut to the jaw. Before he can even tell that anything has happened, he's now flat on his back. And, one of his legs is being picked up, and then whenever it leaves like, actually, no, they keep the grip on it. They move their leg above his knee, and they thrust their leg down. Highly damaging Bakugo's kneecap. And, whenever they take their hands off of it, Bakugo is writhing in pain, just using his shirt cloth as, like, something to, like, bite down on, just so that no one could hear him scream. Because that hurt a lot. But then, all of a sudden, he gets picked up by the head of his hair and then put back on his feet, which all the weight that he's having to put back down on that one, knee is really hurting. And then all of a sudden, a person just goes behind him and, elbows him in the back and, goes in front of him and kind of double eye poke and, gut punch, a kidney punch, and then, like, a smack, like, gut punch, kidney punch, smack to the face, and then all of a sudden just, like, grabs both of Bakugo's arms and, jumps up and is basically now standing on his knees, which one of them is damaged, let you know that. And what they do is basically they jump up and basically leap forward, causing both of Bakugo's arms to be basically, he got human pretzeled, like half human pretzel. Yeah. And also, because of what just happened there, like, bang to, like, the back of his head. And so he's, like, spurting out blood, but not before, like, the person just moseys on over and, just jumps and lands an elbow. Like a freaking Iron Anderson style freaking elbow. And then they just get up and they just look down at him. And then they just put one foot on Bakugo's throat. Like in between his, like, lungs and colon. And they, like, start to rub it in. And, like, like Lisk's father, because Lisk is the one who's been doing this to Bakugo. Lisk's father is like, call the match, call the match, and then like Lisk just like takes the foot off and kicks Bakugo in the head to where it like turns over like to face him, and then she just kneels down and it's like, this is what happens whenever you disrespect my myself and my parents and my people, all of our people in our domain, especially in our domain. But if you do it anywhere, anymore, any longer, I won't stop. Like, if you do it any more, any longer, anywhere else, and if you do it again here, especially if you do it again here, I'll let you in on a little. I'll let you in on a little secret of what will happen then. And he just gets real close to Bakugo and whispers, "I won't stop next time. I won't stop till you're through." And just goes away. And basically, even though like all of the brutal savagery, the Lancer still sees it fit that he has to call his daughter the winner. I mean, Bakugo isn't able to do anything. He couldn't win this battle to save his life. Because he was just like picked apart like it was like a freaking Triple H versus Undertaker match. Like, like the buzzards just came in. Like Bray Wyatt, like talking about the buzzards. Just like picking them clean. Like the Wyatt family just strolled in. Like the buzzards coming to pick them clean. He was just dominated, like the nation of domination. He was just completely demoralized, just like, just no-no'd that man. He just got no-no'd. So yeah, after seeing that, and everything, basically, you know, by the time like Bakugo gets eventually healed up, eventually this time Vanilla Frisk decides to heal him up because she can do that, and they're all told to like basically, and by all of them I mean like Izuku and Bakugo, they're basically told to get the frick out of the freaking world, like just leave at once. But before Izuku is able to completely leave, go through like the fountain, you know, and basically before Izuku's able to go through, like Liz just stops him and it's like, I know what you saw me do there. You probably are not proud of it all, but no, there is no excuse. That's why I told you I needed you to be my best friend. I needed a way to prove to you that that's why. That something worse could happen if I don't have someone. And I'm sorry I had to prove it that way, but in my mind, that's the only way I can make 100% sure that you understand the gravity of the situation. The situation we're all in. Just how bad it is. And Izuku's like, I kind of understood it before the battle even started. You know, the way you kind of manhandled the entire exam, and this other guy, the way you seem to look at him, what do you call himself? Dark Web Sands? The way you seem to look at him, and the way you just manhandled the exam, the entirety of the exam, I wholeheartedly understand now why someone like that is needed for you. And, well, even though I may not like it, I guess I don't. Well, just never mind. I I hope everything's okay after this. I hope this happening didn't start anything bad. And Lisk is just like, before going back, is just like, me too, Izuku, me too. But guess who didn't go back? The one known as Dark Web Sands. He still remains. Alonso, and Adels's because the Dark Shadow Member, because OUT out here, you boys. Bye.